Hey everybody. Hi everyone, it's me, Ashley Brooke. I haven't been on in a minute because I've been having a major sensory issues and with my autism, and also shutdown mode and been going through a lot lately. So I haven't been on, and my kids have been sick also. So I just want to I want to come on because I've been doing a lot of thinking, like, why am I having these shutdown modes, Like, why is this, why am I having such a difficult time when I'm intelligent, I know, like, I've been overcoming a lot, I do a lot more than most, people can do, you know, considering that I'm by myself. I left home when I was 12, I've been through a lot, you guys, so, I just want to, fill you guys in before I start talking about this topic right now, okay? I want to share with you guys, okay, so I'm autistic. I grew up in a very abused home. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, pure discrimination due to my autism. And it was a different time back then. I don't want to go and throw fingers and, I just want to share with you what it felt like growing up, It was so bad that I ran away at 12. I used to have, I didn't talk till I was 7. I stopped talking again from ages 10 to 11. My parents would lock me in the room all the time. They didn't know how to handle me because I would take off running a lot, and they'd try to hold me still and try to grab me because of the abuse. Also, on top of that, on top of my autism, it was very overwhelming, and I wasn't trying to be aggressive. I was just trying to get out of that hold. I wanted my control back. I was scared. I wasn't violent. I was scared. I was panicking. It's a difference. So that was my lack of upbringing. I used to do a lot of things for my mother because she was wheelchair bound, and my father was always on a drug binge. My siblings were very physically abusive to eventually they wouldn't stop beating me up. That I would crawl in a little ball and hold myself still. And eventually, I just couldn't take it no more because they wouldn't stop, And one of my siblings had told me, I know you can talk, you F and B, cussing me out. My sibling had schizophrenic. She was schizophrenic bipolar growing up. I didn't understand that growing up when I was really young. I just felt like my family doesn't like me. I don't know why. What can I kept trying to I'm sure if I just keep being nice, eventually they'll like me. And so I would never hit back. I do whatever they asked, and I was never included. I was just sort of put off. One of my brother's friends would call me Cinderella because I would just sort of just do tasks for them and chores for them and do whatever they told me to do. It was sort of like a servant. It felt like, wasn't really engaged in in a nice social bonding type of way, and with my mom being wheelchair bound, and my other siblings being high, she had to rely on me because I was her only choice, her only option, so I took to that because I was never accepted in any other way, and I knew that I can do that job. That I can do. I can do what they ask me to do. If I can just do that, then that would somehow, build a connection to where one day I would be accepted, in the world that my family is in. I always felt outside of their world, and it felt really odd, and I didn't understand why for so long in my life. So I paid attention to consequences, signs, I paid attention to the facts. I sort of had to become by the way that my circumstances were, I became sort of I feel like I can say today maybe a little detective, and I've been told that many times, private investigator Ashley Brooke, and people make jokes, and I asked one of my friends, and I said, hey, I'm really trying to understand myself, because I come on here and I get really offended by what neurotypicals say, and I don't want to be, stupid and I want to make a change. I don't want to sit there and fight with neurotypicals. I would like us to find peace and, overcome this stigma of society. I would like them to understand and see us for who we are, and accept us. And I was I just feel oh my God, they just don't understand. So I asked my friend, I said, hey, I know we always clash, but we're still talk, but I want to ask you a question that I need to hear some, like, I want to hear the complaints. Like, what do you notice about me that's so different? Because there's a lot of things I never picked up on. Like, wasn't sure if it was my trauma or if it was because I'm autistic, And so, and one of my friends said, well, it's always something weird that you've always done, You comment on other facial, on others, on other people's facial expressions, including mine, a lot. Like, you don't have a filter for it. If you look at them and you're reading them too hard, you're trying to figure them out all the time. And you're making guesses and knowing, like, no filtering on, like, how it may sound or if you're right or you're wrong. You're just going to be like, okay, well, is this going on? What's going on? Or, like, why do you feel like that? Or what's wrong? And, like, I would real jumping to, like, trying to solve the problem. And they're like, there's no problem. But I feel that for an autistic person, we kind of have, the problem for us is that they think there's something wrong with that. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with, I'm picking up on something. I feel that autistic people what we're picking up on, which is why we're always trying to figure everything out, is what we're picking up on and what we're trying to solve, because we're analytical thinkers, that's what makes us different, is that we're trying to solve the lack of connection, There's no connection. We feel it, There's no connection when you're typical. We don't feel that, acceptance, and we don't feel that engaging or that, that rapport. And we know that something is missing. And so we're trying to, like, understand, like, and we almost become like, oh my God, did I do something wrong? What's wrong? Or like, why are you doing that? Like, trying to figure it out. We tend to do this. And it's not that we're accusing anybody of anything. It's just our way our brains work. We're trying to put the cards on the table because there's something that we feel that is off for us, We look at the world with a different lens, I think neurotypicals need to understand that. And what I'm picking on, the motive behind what's triggering me to say these type of things, like, it's like, are the facts that I need to that's what I'm trying to figure out, trying to gather those facts, trying to figure out why, And like I said, we see the world through a different lens, so we are interpreting things differently. It takes us longer to process things because we're processing them thoroughly, And I feel that there is a sort of autistic trauma, that is a part of a lot of almost all autistic people, I have to say. Think about it. The autistic people, there's 65% of suicide, in the world is autistic people killing themselves. There's probably, like, I don't know the other statistics, but I know there's probably, like, drug addiction, spousal abuse, whatever, different ones, and they're all like 30, 20, 30. We're 65. Why? Because we don't have that connection. A lot of us are killing ourselves. And sad, mostly autistic teenagers, this is happening, and autistic young adults. It's just that, I feel like there's a trauma. I call it the stigma of society, because the way that I have always, the way that I have always been treated. And as a child, I knew I was different. But a lot of social conflicts and, or bullying, for a better word, well, a lot of those events, I didn't know that it was happening to me at first because I was autistic. Because people discriminated against me, saying you're weird, and they'd use the word, and they would use that word to get away with the truth of that they're that I'm different, and they're not accepting me for that reason. It was pure discrimination, and they've been, hi, thank you, I'm Block. That's my daughter, she's also autistic. And they use this as an excuse, and they think that they don't have to acknowledge us, And the worst part about this is that not just people using, the word, like calling me a freak, calling me a weirdo, asking me about the R word, or call me a loser, stupid, they've said these things to me all, growing up. When I got older and I found my voice, I had to learn to mask and be harder than my true, character is. I had to, put this character, this strong, like assertive, aggressive, I had to act crazy to shock them so that they would think I was gonna, they didn't know how to take me just to protect myself. And I think that that's really messed up because I'm a really good person. And so to make me feel that I have to be something I'm not just to feel safe is not okay. It's messed up. It's inhumane. I can't believe that we live in this world, like that people are this way to us, and it's so weird because I'm not those things. I'm not any of those things. I'm not stupid. I'm not weird, I'm just like, I'm different. I'm autistic, and people will always be like, oh, you're overreacting. I'm not overreacting, okay? And I'm not crazy, They discredit everything that I express and everything that I'm trying to share to have a connection, to meet in the middle, to resolve any conflict or to find an understanding, to find, a middle ground where we can understand each other. And I feel like it's not my issue, The issue isn't that autistic people lack, social. We tend to actually be, If you ask a lot of people, we always also get made fun of. How are you going to say we lack communication and then they make fun of us and say a lot of us, they say that a lot of times, the type of people that we are extremely nice. We are over talkative, we're oversharing, over expressive, and the most honest, We're super honest. And so that stigma needs to stop. We are connecting. You guys are resisting. You guys are like, oh, that's weird, that's not how we do it. And we're just like, hey, well, we know that we're different, but we're still trying to connect, and then people are calling us weird, freak, loser, the R word. And it's just like, that's not fair, That's really not fair, It's just like, it may take us longer to get there. As children, we take longer to develop these, to develop, and to store our, sensory, expression, and it takes us longer to understand social engaging because the world doesn't think like us. So naturally, it's like learning a new language. It's going to take us a minute, but I feel like we're the only ones trying to understand. I feel like neurotypical in society, they're trying to train us to not be like ourselves. And they're not trying to accept that there is a different type of human, And so, I just feel like, we're very intellectual. Once we get there, we're very intellectual, we're very insightful. We're still very kind, still very honest, very, a matter of fact, we're very much so organizational learners. We are problem solvers. We are constantly trying to help better a situation, find growth in a situation, be a support for other people if they need us, And we're very trustworthy, and we're very honest, and we're very loyal, and we don't give up, We are very obsessive, because that's part of our different, processing in our brain, the analytical processing that we have that is different, Neurotypicals don't have that part of the brain, functioning the way that we do. We all have a gift to bring, and I feel like, you guys may have something, you can just, a gift, if you can just let go of that hate. And we know what our gift is, and we're trying to share it with you, We want to help, we do want to work together with neurotypicals. The way neurotypicals view us and treat us is setting us back. If I can tell a neurotypical anything, it would be, please stop trying to fix us. Please stop trying to fix us. I'm not broken. And I've been through a lot, and no part of me is broken. And I may have trouble controlling the way I look at a camera or look at people when they're talking to me. But when it's serious, it's like, this needs to stop. It's not okay. And I feel that because we try to avoid this abuse. It's abusive. For so many years, abusive, and we're avoiding it. But I think that every autistic person needs to stand up, not aggressively, peacefully. I'm Native American, and I don't believe in fighting things aggressively. I'm Chiricahua Apache, and I just don't believe that, this is what God wants for our paths. I don't believe that. I believe that we are supposed to, eventually, autistic people are eventually supposed to help and teach and open neurotypical's mind to where, they can see why we do exist, why God made us, because He made us all. We are all children of God. He made us all. We do have a purpose, as well as in neurotypical does, but let go of the hate, because you're never going to reach your purpose, and we're trying to reach ours. So, please stop holding us back and stop trying to fix us. Okay, we'll get there when we're ready. I didn't talk till I was 7. I stopped talking to get from 10 to 11 because people rushing and being cruel and saying mean things because they didn't feel that I fit in with their society. Even my own family. It was so bad that I ran away at 12. Very hurtful. And we're like I said, we are a different type of human. I really want to make this very clear and make people notice what I'm saying. We are a different type of human. We are. Okay? The difference between neurotypicals and autistic people is the analytical functioning of the brain. There's a part of the brain that is for analytical processing, problem solving. We think in pictures. We think of things quickly and very thoroughly. Information. For that reason, it takes us a second, because we're thinking about everything so thoroughly, making sure that we got it right, which is why we talk so much, which is why we're always saying the truth and blurting stuff out. We're meant for information and problem solving. It's a gift that we all have, that if we're autistic, we have this gift. And I don't think it should be dumbed down, and I don't think ABA should be training us to follow rules and to not use our analytical processing. That is what makes us us, and we are a different type of human, so just accept us. You guys may have other gifts, that bring to the table, I learned, got a lot of my confidence when I was younger from a couple that was 2 gay men, and they weren't autistic, but they were so confident in their own way of interpreting the world. They taught me to have confidence and to like myself, and to accept myself, because they probably went through that themselves for them being gay when they were younger, It was a different time back then. I'm going to be 39, guys, in July, so, and that's what I'm trying to say. We all have a gift to bring to the table, and I just want everyone to realize that quit trying to change us, because we're not meant to be like you. We're meant to be like us. But we want to work with you, and we want to accept you, and we want to live in a world with you all. But you guys need to stop being discriminatory and rude. Different, species of animals and pets and all this stuff, they accept gays, they accept blacks, they accept, not that that is, I'm saying that's an animal. I'm just saying all the different types of people in the world that everybody just is accepting. Why not us? And I believe it's because we are that different type of human, and the way that we talk and the way that we process and the way that we think. It's just they're not even giving us a chance. They're shutting us down immediately. And I think it's really messed up, and it's something wrong with the world. And to be honest, every major innovative person of all time, they were autistic. Thomas Edison, right? Leonardo da Vinci, Picasso, Tesla, Einstein. I can go on. So many. Okay? A lot of brilliant, innovative, They changed the world for good. They did a lot of great things in the world. And I just don't think that, how come us knowing all this information, why are they still discrediting us? Why are they still, acting like we don't have something to bring to the table? Why do they feel like they can disrespect us? And why if I can tell you guys another thing, growing up, I don't feel that we really need all that many therapies. I don't think it's going to help. I think what we all lack as autistic youth is that social engaging with our family, Quit trying to give your kid that is autistic, especially. No kid you should do it. I mean, every kid, this is information for every child. But autistic kids, we need it a little more because we have that and we're not going to get it from anywhere else. Your neurotypical child may go find another friend, go find some other family, find that connection. Your job as a parent is to make sure that they do get that connection. And because we are so, outcasted, it's your job as a parent to make sure that they get it from at least you. Engage them. Talk to them. I don't care if they're nonverbal. I was nonverbal and I understood everything and I remember everything. Which is why I'm so assertive today. Because it sucked. I mean, it was very cruel. Engage them. Draw with them. Get into the world. It's so important. There's so many autistic people killing themselves, and it's really messed up. It's scary. I'm autistic, and I have 2 autistic kids. And it sucks. To be treated this way. A lot of us are shunned by our own families. They don't know how to talk with us. They want to just automatically, when they don't like something that we say or the way that we communicate, they immediately just want to avoid us. And the older we get, they avoid us more. They don't care where we go, group home, street, they don't care. Anywhere but near them. That's a really fucked up way, Parents like that shouldn't have kids. And I'm not the only autistic adult that has been through this. So many. I talked to so many. My channel on YouTube already has 506 subscribers. I've talked to all these autistic adults. Made friends with a lot of them. And it's not right. They're all left behind if we're dead already or something and the worst part is that they go and try to act like we're crazy. It's really? Not only do you not accept us and shun us and discriminate against us, verbally abuse us, but now you're gonna go and put that crazy label on us? What a mind fuck are you really? Just be an asshole and say you don't fucking like us. Why are you trying to mind fuck us and make us believe that we're crazy? We're not crazy. It's a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry, but I've been through a lot of abuse, so you guys are not showing me anything new. And I believe God made me this way for a reason. So I can say the truth. God allowed me and brought me to where I found my voice so that I can speak what I see and what I've experienced and the truth. It's the truth. Ask a lot of autistic adults. All we want for you guys to do is to accept us. All these therapies, just hang out with your kid. Spend a lot of time. Make them your best friend. Engage them. Bring out paper. We like to draw a lot. We think in pictures. It's a good way to have them express themselves. Give them ways to express themselves and bond expressing with them. Music, dance, drawing, and just talk to them a lot. The speech will come eventually. Quit trying to rush it and quit saying in front of them, they don't talk. They have mental illness. Stop saying these things. It's so freaking fucking when you're a child. I heard all this shit when I was younger. They used to say I was retarded. It's crazy. I'm not retarded. I was just on my own level because I'm different. Neurologically different. I'm a different type of human. Once again. That whole talking, let me figure you out. It's why don't you spend more time understanding what autism is? I'm going to leave you guys with a couple of topics that you guys need to look up, research, put some effort in. Try to understand it instead of just going to a doctor and be like, what's this? They don't know. They're not autistic. Ask an autistic person. And ask one that is, more educated that understands. Because a lot of times, us autistic people, we've been so bullied and so, talked down to, and our parents have been like, oh, you need to get to your therapy, you need to do this, and you have this mental health. And they've brainwashed a lot of us to think that we're crazy. It's insane. And they do it, even some of the neurotypical people, they're not even aware of what they're doing to us. They're just thinking that they're helping. It's just wow. And then they wonder why we're resistant, and they wonder why we end up pushing them and being aggressive, because you never once stopped to go and research that we have touch stimulation issues. You should know that by now. How do you not freaking know that? The internet, you look up every damn thing. Go on TikTok, on YouTube, go on everything and look up everything that you want. If my autism was the fountain of youth for you, then you know all about it. But because it's not about yourself, neurotypicals are so involved that they don't can't see past themselves. It's like, it's your freaking kid. It's so simple. You just do a little research, read a little bit. That's it. You know? I highly suggest that you guys research the topics, you know, look it up online, make sure that it's credited. You know, I usually go with Harvard, you know, lectures and stuff like that. Look up, make it you can look it up, you know, online through Google or whatever, or you can also just go into a YouTube channel, which makes it easier for you guys. Now, behavioral epigenetics, okay? This is how autism is manifested in your DNA expression, okay? Not caused by negative stimuli, no? During the development stages of a person's life in the womb, and about up until about, I think, the age of 3, you know, 4. They say 5, but I think for those sensory processing, I think it's up to the age of 3. And when we are enduring negative stimulation during that time, if it becomes too stressful, too much negative stimuli, it'll cause a mutation in your DNA expression, which means that the DNA is not changed, no? That there is not a mutation in the DNA. There is a mutation in the DNA expression, which means how the brain reads the DNA coding. You know? It's like, and there's different types of epigenetics. There's medical epigenetics, behavioral epigenetics. This affects as negative stimuli affects, and not just autistic people, negative stimulation affects everybody's bodies. We're affected probably more, you know, sensitive to the stimulation because we're autistic and our brains are different, so we pick up on it a lot more. And you guys not accepting us, not understanding our autism, is causing us to have a lot of medical health issues. I don't think anybody really realizes that autism, we have a lot of medical health issues that is associated with our autism. But it can also easily be avoided if you guys would just research and help your child stay healthy. I didn't understand this until like later because I never had any parents to help me understand anything. I had to learn everything myself. You know, and I did go to college. I did go to university. I went online and I maintained a 4.0 GPA and I did study behavioral epigenetics. I do know what I'm saying. You know, but because of all my seizures, my medical conditions, I wasn't able to finish my schooling because no family support. One, I was shunned by my own family for no reason, no support. Very smart, you know. 4.0 GPA consistently the whole time, earning my bachelor's. Couldn't finish it. Why? No family support. And then when my son was born, he's also autistic, and they just, you know, discarded him as well because inconvenient. You know, it was more convenient just to act like no support. So when I had my 4 back-to-back seizures, I had to make a choice to not stress myself out, not overwork myself, and to focus on my child. Doesn't mean I don't know what I'm saying. I know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so I just feel like, you know, research, I want you guys to research, behavioral epigenetics, medical epigenetics, you know. There's lots of autoimmune, diseases that are associated with autism. You know, there's a microbiome issue also. And when it says in epigenetics that the causes a mutation in your DNA expression, which means your brain is reading the DNA coding differently, I believe that is, you know, where the microbiome issue comes in. You know? Microbiome issue is a declining bacteria in the gut, you know, and it ends up affecting your metabolism, you know, your digestive system, you know, and it ends up affecting your gut brain, which will cause an autistic person to have more intellectual, I guess, like, behaviors, you know, and also, it can cause intellectual and also even like physical health issues, which that is all medical epigenetics, behavioral epigenetics, and affection behaviorally and medically. This is all a big circle of, it's all connected. Autism, you know, microbiome, epigenetics, you know, negative stimuli. Okay, research gut brain. You know, research all of these terms that I'm sharing with you guys. So stop rushing us to do shit. Stop trying to tell us that something wrong with us. There's not a damn thing wrong with us. What's wrong is that you guys don't know how to calm down and let us interpret the world. Ask us questions, share. Act like we have to teach you too, because we actually do. You guys are setting us back. You're setting your own self. You're setting, you know, mankind back, honestly. Some people have argued that it's evolution. I'm not sure yet, but I do know that autism can be managed to where it is an ability, not a disability. We can learn. What people don't realize is that social and communication skills is a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. You don't need to know it instinctively. So I just feel like, 1 second, real fast. Hold on 1 second. Oh my god, my family's talking so loud. My kids and my babysitter talking super loud, so I have to close the door. So I really want you guys to research those topics, honestly, and it's super important, you guys. We can manage our challenges and overcome our challenges. Autism is not an intellectual disorder, and social communication skills is a learned behavior. Once we can overcome the stigma of society, people treating us badly and us being affected by it, and making us change the way that we see ourselves, then we can be able to overcome that stigma of society, learn this behavior and social communications that we're supposed to know in order to survive and and work with society, and contribute. Then we can learn that so well because we learn information very well. It's part of our gift. If we can just overcome the people being cruel to us and stop caring about what people think. Half this world doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't. Matter of fact, I feel like autistic people we are this world's only, chance of coming out of this. This whole world has become so, filled with vanity, no family value, filled with vanity. It's like grasping for the wind, it says in the Bible. There's nothing to see tomorrow. There's nothing to hold on to. They're even losing connection. Neurotypicals are losing connection with everybody. So I feel that really, in reality, you can't really say. That's one person's opinion, neurotypicals. But in reality, I feel that neurotypicals are the ones that are lacking the social communication skills. I think that they are declining. I don't think that I am. I am very kind, very social, and I'm able to talk about difficult things and be peaceful about it. I don't understand why we're getting the stigma. I think we really need to stop letting people, tell us who we are. I feel that we know who we are. If you're autistic out there like me, I want you to understand how important this is. If not for you, I know that I know that we do care, and we do have compassion, and we do have empathy. If you have some part of you that is hard for you to be bold, know that there's other autistic people out there that are killing themselves. We need to stand together. We need to be strong. Because we also know what it feels like to not be accepted or included or a part of, the community because of, they put us in group homes or do whatever, shun us, or they don't tell us that we're autistic and they just call us crazy. That wasn't my case. I knew I was autistic since I was very young. But I feel like no one's going to accept us until we accept ourselves. It's taking a long time for me to accept myself and to talk about it this boldly. I think that we all need to work on that. And every autistic person should research those terms that I gave you earlier. Okay? Also, we need to understand ourselves so that we can have legs to stand on and stand strong and be like, no, I'm sorry, that's not who I am. Let me just inform you. Let me correct you. But because we're not saying anything, and if we're nonverbal and you're nonverbal, at that time this is happening, I'm not talking about you guys. You guys, we all have a role to play, in teaching this world how to be, better. So, but I'm talking about the ones that did go through a lot of trauma and that, can turn that trauma into being more bold to help defend the rest of the autistic community. I honestly believe that a lot of us have been through trauma that are autistic, and a lot of us learned how to be responsible and strong and honest and, and to stand, up for each other because we know what it feels like. And I think that if you are that person, subscribe to my channel, first off. DM me. I have my TikTok account called Autistic Army. I'm trying to gather all, my people just to build support, so let them know that they're not alone. And also, there's a lot of addicts out there, and alcoholics, and a lot of, When I was younger, I drank a lot, and I didn't know why, because it numbs my sensories. They say that autistic people are twice as likely to become alcoholics or addicted to a substance because of how uncomfortable they feel in their own skin. That they're just like, okay, I can't feel like this, and it's just too overly stimulating, and they end up, someone gives them a drink, and they try to blend and fit in, and they just do it, and before you know it, they're addicted. And it's a big problem. There's another big problem, is that a lot of autistic people can't leave the house or be around anybody without having a drink, I saw, what's it called, Love in the Spectrum, not that long ago, and there's a couple of characters on there, and every time I see them going on a date, I see them pounding drinks, like, super fast, because they're nervous that they're about to go on a date, like, they can't handle that engaging in new experiences. A lot of us do that. It took me a long time for me to realize that I was doing that because I didn't want to work through, accepting myself and, embracing myself to where I can practice being comfortable and being me, I still go in shutdown mode. I'm still working on it, to even today. But I do see it, and I do know that we all need to work on ourselves. And if anybody has any sort of suicide, issues with their mental health, or or addiction problems, I want you guys to reach out to me. I've been through a lot, and I would really like to be a support for you guys if you don't have it. I know a lot of people say, oh, reach out to a hotline. They don't understand autistic people. When I first stopped drinking alcohol, I went to an AA meeting, and I was just like, they do not understand me, and I am not drinking for those same reasons. Like, this is more like with my autism, like, than anything else. I had no similarity, didn't feel like no connection, because they were not autistic. So if you guys are like that, please reach out. Like I said, I have been through a lot, and I feel that I have been through so much and so much difficult things because I feel that I was supposed to, so that God can use me to, help, I would really like to think that that is why I went through so much in my life, and endured that type of a discrimination and abuse in every sense of the word, Oh, and God gave me 2 autistic children, and I just feel like God just is installing that reason, and that purpose. So, you guys reach out. Please subscribe to my channel. Make sure I didn't leave anything out. Just want to make sure I got it. I haven't been on in a second, everybody. I've been so, going through a lot, Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, I already told you guys, right, to look up the terms, medical epigenetics, behavioral epigenetics, microbiome. Look up autism. Look up sensory stimulation. Try to understand what it feels like for an autistic person rather than what it means to you. Because what you think it is or what textbooks say, it doesn't feel like that for us. I hear sound and I have physical pain, so much where it causes me to have uncontrollable seizures all the time. I just had a seizure not that long ago that I had to have. Now my friend Priscilla and my friend Jonathan stop by occasionally to check on me and make sure I cannot take a bath now without having someone in the house, just to make sure that I don't drown in the bathtub. I'm studying at my in-home care providers, but this is really serious, you guys. Understand how there's so many medical conditions associated with autism. We need to all start exercising. I'm going to start my New Year's resolution to start following my diet back again for my mental health. And when I say mental health, I'm not saying that I'm crazy, but with all the discrimination and all the everything that I have up against me, everybody can become mentally ill if they are depressed, if they are lonely, if they don't have any social acceptance, so and financial struggles and all the things that come with life. Okay, so exercise, even if it's 10 minutes a day. I do an exercise usually. Before I was doing it more. I'm going to start doing it again. It's a 10-minute exercise video. I go on YouTube, and his name is, it's kind of like not my type of, person doesn't look like, he's kind of like a little more like naked than what my, I'm Christian, so like for me to see like, half naked men is kind of like odd for me. But the exercise really, really works. That's why I do it, because it actually helped me when I had my daughter. I gained a lot of weight, and I lost a lot of weight really fast doing this workout, and it helped my, I had a C-section with both my kids, so it helped that stomach area and everything, and it helped me feel better and have more energy, and it helped me think and process quicker, and, be able to function better and be happy. So, yeah, his name is Billy, I think it's Billy Juice or Bully Juice. 10-minute extreme cardio workout. Then you also do the lower ab one. I mix them up and I do it. Like, I usually got to the point where I was doing it, and because it made me feel so good, I was doing it before breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner. And I felt really good. And I also suggest to listen to some, some things where you feel connected, whether it's my channel, whether it's a minister or whatever your faith is, something positive, something that is, lifting your spirits, lifting you to love and accept yourself. It's super important, I want every autistic person to understand that, don't be anything other than you. I understand that sometimes we have to hide masks to deal with difficult situations where we're not accepted, but practice ways until you get there, how you can become stronger in advocating for yourself, speaking up for yourself, not letting people control and take over the conversation if you know what you're saying, I feel like people need to start accepting our differences. We're different humans. And I'm going to title this Different Humans. We are a different type of human. It's proven in science. We use a part of the brain that other humans cannot use. It takes away from other skills and social, skills and that neurotypicals aren't able to use. We use different parts of our brain. We function differently. We look at the world through a different lens. We are different humans, and this difference is, there's a little conflict that no one's talking about, but we're feeling it. And people are lightly joking and acting like that. Well, no, but neurotypicals are not respecting and accepting that we're just different humans, That's why they always make fun of us and call us aliens, And I think that that's something that we all need to work on, the whole world. I try to be nice and understanding. I would love to accept everybody, but I need people to, and my daughter, we need to accept each other, work together, We're all children of God, and this is God's, this is God, we're all God's creation. No one's better than the other person. Well, I'm going to sign off now, you guys, okay? Follow me on YouTube. You can also follow my Facebook. I also have a Facebook account you can follow called Autistic Army, as well as my TikTok, Autistic Army. Feel free to DM me or put the comments below in my YouTube channel. And please don't forget to subscribe. And if you're autistic and you have other autistic family or friends, share so you guys can understand and know that, there is a community for us. And we may not have family, but we are our own family. We can make our own family, It doesn't always have to be blood. All right, everybody, have a good night. Let me know what you guys think.